lie to me. Don't be shy. I just wanna talk to you.
Oh, hey there. There you are again. Didn't see you there. Hi. Hi.
Your first name?
Justin.
Second name?
Alan.
Surname?
Deo.
Nationality?
American.
Occupation?
Volunteer.
Education?
Bachelor's degree, diploma in international relations and geography, minor in political science. It seems to me that the languages get mixed in my mind, but I'm quite well. Pero esto en regla. Jetzt alles ist gut und ich kann weiter. I wanted to learn a new language, and I did that. Not perfectly, but I did that.
How many languages do you know?
Oh, well, I speak English.
Really?
I have to say, quite well. I've been practicing for 26 years. And sometimes I try to speak German and Russian. And I learned Spanish in high school, but it's gone. It's all gone.
And French?
I can sing in French, but I don't know what I'm saying.
А ты хорошо выучил русский язык?
Нет, совсем. Я был очень ленивый. Хотя я говорю, я думаю, что это понятно, что я скажу, но по грамматике для меня это очень сложный язык. Я учился по-немецки, это чуть-чуть легче. Это почти как английский, в моем мнении. Русский, это я очень медленно научился.
What is the most difficult in Russian?
I think the grammar for me, like many English speakers have who are learning from English Club TV. Такие, я знаю, как называются такие падежи, но использую ложкой, сыр с мясом, такие могу, но кроме этого. When I came to Ukraine 2 years ago, I tried to learn the alphabet, which was difficult enough for an American to look at this alphabet like it's come from the moon. A lot of Americans don't know when they see it, they don't know the Cyrillic alphabet. They have no idea what language or what country it's from. So I tried to learn that. I was prepared, could say a few things in Russian when I came, but mostly I couldn't save my life. I couldn't do anything in Russian. I couldn't get around, and I didn't understand a thing. But after speaking it every day, надо, конечно, надо говорить, надо. Я сам живу, квартира у меня, моя работа у меня, соседи у меня, друзья. Они большинство только говорят на украинском, на русском. Значит, если кто-то постоянно говорит в этом языке, на русском, на английском, да каждый день это улучшается. You just have to use it, of course. Я каждый день, я в каждом предложении на русском сделаю ошибок. Ошибки? Я не знаю, ошибки и ошибок мне все равно, но, по крайней мере, вы меня понимаете, да? Right? That is the most important. It is the method I use as a teacher. It's called the communicative approach. And in my organization, it is stressed, very, very highly stressed, that we need to use the communicative approach in learning a language, because that's how it sticks in your mind. You need to use it in different situations, real-life situations, dialogues, conversation, and so forth. The educational system that I've seen in my area of Ukraine is much more traditional than what I was used to in school in America. In my Spanish classes, the teacher tried to be very open with us, not just in Spanish, but in English, so that we were very comfortable in class. There was a lot of different creative activities. For example, just when we walked in the room, the desks weren't facing the front, and the teacher didn't stand in the front, but the desks were moved into a circle, and all the students sat in a circle, and the teacher sat with the students somewhere, so that the teacher wasn't above them, dominating them, demanding them. I think what people need to know about learning English is that everybody who learns the language as a new speaker, everybody makes mistakes. It could be grammar, it could be pronunciation. Usually it's the article. But it's something that everyone goes through together, and the only way that you can improve on it is to make the mistake and then learn from it. It's just like life, I guess. Being successful in life involves making mistakes and learning from them, and to a much lesser extent in language, that's also true. And in order to make those mistakes, you need to speak in the right environment, of course. The best would be with someone who also speaks English. It doesn't have to be a native speaker. It could be someone who you're learning English with. It could be a friend or a colleague or a student, if you're a student. It could be anyone, but most important is to keep speaking in the language and ingrain it into your brain. Speak it as much as possible, of course. I remember my own days as a 9th and 10th grader. I was scared of speaking Spanish, and especially in a real-world environment where I could speak with a real Spanish speaker, and we have many of them in America. But I remember the feeling, the nerves, the heart. It's not just a problem in one country. I think it's a human problem to hear these strange sounds coming out of your mouth and expect that someone understands you. I think it takes some getting used to, especially the first time you start speaking another language. It sounds ridiculous, I think, because you don't really know what you're saying almost. You know what it translates as, but you can't really feel what you're saying yet. But the more you speak, the more you feel what you are saying in English. English and Russian, or Ukrainian, English and Ukrainian, are very different languages. Absolutely different language groups, different history, different grammar, different pronunciation, and different alphabet. Of course, Ukrainians can read the Latin alphabet without problem, I think. That's not the issue. But the issue is learning a whole new set of grammar rules, learning a whole new set of words that sound, I think, very strange, very, very strange. And some of these words and pronunciations are nothing close to what exists in Russian or Ukrainian, like the sound, which seems to be very difficult for a lot of people here to make. It's very important to make an atmosphere that is comfortable, an atmosphere where people aren't afraid to say something or anything. However, you can manage to get people comfortable and maybe thinking less of themselves speaking and more about what's happening in the classroom, some sort of activity, some sort of skit or play or dialogue, to get their mind off of their self-conscious speaking problems and to get their mind on something else, maybe something funny that's happening in the activity or some sort of debate or argument with another student, and soon you'll be speaking English, Spanish, Russian, and you'll be more interested in what you're saying than how you say it. I remember as well, one of my fondest memories of class in high school was Spanish class, and we made skits, we made comedy skits, like they do on an American show called Saturday Night Live. It's just lots of small 2 or 3 minute skits that are sometimes funny, supposed to be funny always, but sometimes they're not. And we did that in Spanish with a video, sort of a studio like this, video recorder, makeup, wigs, clothes, a desk. And I remember I was Bill Clinton for one skit, so we had a nice big desk, American flags in the background with a curtain. I had a white wig on, and I practiced my Bill Clinton. I think I can still remember what I said. Buenos dias. Soy tu presidente. I'm your president.
Джастин Дейо в течение 26 месяцев преподавал английский язык в 5-8 классах средней школы города Верхнеднепровска. Верхнеднепровск расположен в 13 километрах от ближайшей железнодорожной станции. Население 18 тысяч человек.
Life brings us surprises.
И какие? Сериалы отдыхают.
That is why I advise you to study English. In order to start the lesson quietly, I fire my guns up in the air, and then everyone is quiet, everyone looks at me. Sometimes I have to shoot my kids, just to make sure they are paying attention. Sometimes 4 or 5 minutes we play a game called Simon Says. And Simon Says, maybe some people know this game, maybe some people don't, but Simon Says is a game where the class stands up, and I'm Simon, and I tell my class what to do. For example, Simon says, touch your shoulders. It works mostly for the younger students. They love this game. So Simon says, touch your shoulders. They touch their shoulders. Simon says, touch your head. Simon says, touch your cheeks. We learn these kind of words. Cheeks, chin, подбородок. Simon says, touch your nose. Simon says, touch your eyes. Потом, когда Simon это не скажет, я скажу, Simon says, touch your shoulders. Simon says, touch your head, touch your ears. Если кто-то это трогал, если кто-то уши трогал, надо сидеть, потому что Саймон не сказал. Это очень простая игра, но дети это любят каждый день. После Simon Says, да? Мы сидим, разговариваем чуть-чуть, я спрошу себя, как жизнь, как ты поживаешь. Поживаешь? Ой. Конечно, это я на английском сказал. Это я всегда, how are you doing? Sometimes I ask every student. Иногда это я спрашиваю каждый студент. У меня маленький класс, иногда нет. А иногда у нас какие-то проекты. Например, в Business English мы только что сделали интервью, как это было, как представляли, что это был настоящий job интервью. Надо готовить резюме, надо готовить, что сказать. Всегда должно быть готов для каких-то уникальный или странный вопрос. И этот вопрос был, why is a manhole round?
Джастин, а как учить язык так, чтобы говорить и не бояться?
Yeah, it depends on how you learn, of course. Some people learn better with their eyes, some people learn better with their ears. Some people learn better speaking, and I've learned that I learn better by seeing the words. I've spoken a lot of Russian in the last 2 years. Я очень часто, конечно, каждый день балакал на русском, постоянно, каждый день, суток, иногда в суток. Но для меня, из-за научить новых слов, мне надо это смотреть. Мне надо всегда на карточку, маленькую карточку. Я иду домой, я 45 минут сижу на диване, и я пишу, I write little flashcards, I put the word in English on one side, I flip it over, I put the word in Russian on the other side, and then I look at the flashcards, если я это знаю, я это здесь положу. А следующий день я еще раз смотрю на это слово, если я это знаю, в коробку можно ложить. In school, I have students that can read wonderfully, that can write an essay that is decent and well understood and articulate using many words. But when you try to sit down and have a conversation with these learners, you realize they've learned how to read and to write, but they haven't quite learned how to speak and carry on a conversation. So what I've emphasized before, that sort of interactivity that is required to learn a language is, I think, is priority one in learning English, is an active knowledge of English, not just a passive knowledge. Of course, it's very important to be able to read and to write English, but speaking is the key. So if your goal is to learn English in the next year or two, you should be working on it every day for an hour or more at least. It needs to be a big part of your life, because as soon as the words come into your head, they start melting away, kind of. I'm already afraid of what might happen with my Russian if I go to America and I don't speak it for a month. I'll already start to remember some of my Russian words, and it will become more and more difficult for me to speak it if I don't speak it in America. Then, let's say goodbye.
Пока.
Bye-bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Adios.
До зустрічі.
Спокойной ночи. Arrivederci. Mazel tov. Chioro.
I just wanna talk to you. Don't